But the more you do it, the more people get in tune. So it just take time.
So what is like your overall experience doing radio?
I love it. The crazy part for me is I don't like seeing the numbers. Like every so often, I look at the statistics and see that we heard globally. Like that's cool. But to walk in certain places and people be like, "Oh, I know you," I'll be like,
Yeah.
"From like oh from the radio show." I'm like, "Damn, okay." I ain't know. You don't really think that people really be tuned in like that. Like you share your stuff, but you don't
Mhm.
think like, there's people actually listening to what the hell I gotta say. So
Right.
my very first encounter was 4 years ago. I went to go pick up an Apple Watch at Target, and I'll never forget their name. It was Mary and Joe James. Uh,
Okay.
they was an older couple, probably like early 60s, late 50s.
Yeah.
And I was talking to the lady behind the counter, and the lady was like, "Oh my God, I know your voice." I'm like, "Excuse me?" It's like, you're Radio Rail from the OG radio show. Like, I know your voice. I'm like, "Y'all listen to me? Like, what the fuck?
Right.
Y'all of all people? Like, y'all old as hell." But all right, that was cool. Then by me doing TikTok, that kind of pushed me a little bit out there. I went to
Mhm.
go get some tacos with my wife. Me and my wife, I went to go get some tacos, and I guess this lady came across my TikTok as I was there, and she was like, "Oh my God, is this you?" I'm like, "Yeah."
That's
That's
dope.
cool. Like I like it. It's um, being locally famous, if you will. It's cool. Like people fuck with you, and it opens a lot of doors for a lot of stuff. So
Mhm.
I like it. We took a long break. Like this year, we was on and off. Everybody done got married and had babies and shit. So we kind of getting back to the swing of things next year.
Yeah.
So 2025, we back at it. We have our current station we broadcast from. They closing down next month, so we find another
Oh, dang.
platform. So I'm like, that's cool. We have we used that platform for about 12 to 13 years. So
Okay.
it's cool. It's about that time to transition.
Okay. So, for those of you joining the live, today's episode is the life altering influence of music and stuff. So, I would say, um, what I want to say, like, how would, like, what, how did you know that you were like in love with music, or, when did you start like getting, when did it change your life? I guess.
My OG. Most black families on Sunday mornings, early in the morning, your OG get up, put on that music. You gotta do Sunday cleaning before you go to church most of the time.
Mm,
So by my mom constantly playing a bunch of songs, old school songs at that. So I got in tune with, the OJs and Luther and all that other shit. Can I cuss on here?
yeah, you can.
Okay, okay. I'm like, "Ooh." So getting in tune with music at an early age, um, I could always go back to like pick a random song, and I could always go back to where I was at that moment when I first heard that song. So like, I remember, believe it or not, a lot of people didn't remember that he had an album, but my first album that I had myself was Shaq's album.
You talking
Shaq
about the
had an album.
basketball player, Shaq?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's funny.
1996. I was 6 years old, and the first album I ever heard, like to myself, that somebody gave me was Shaq's album. And so I was kind of like introduced to rap, and I've been on that scene for a while. But mainly, like for real, I got an old school soul. So like a lot of my playlist is, the new stuff. Some of the stuff from my time, but it's really a bunch of old school. And
Mhm.
like I feel like as far as life goes, there's a lot of healing and a lot of music that we listen to. Not the shit that we got out now. A lot of that is just,
Yeah, yeah,
whatever. But like, you know, if you went through a heartbreak, shit, you turn on Chris Brown, never say goodbye. Like, that you feel some shit, let it burn. So
yeah.
like music definitely a lot of shit that we go through, like music definitely helps the soul. I had an aunt that passed, and for some reason, the song that came to my mind was "We Ball" by Meek Mill and Young Thug. Like that shit touch my soul. I drop a tear a little bit, like,
Wow.
yeah. So like I feel like well, no matter what you go through, there's a song for how you feeling.
Definitely. I definitely agree with that too. I know for me, it was like my mom. She did play music when we were younger, so it was like it was really like it was R&B and rap. That's how I got introduced to it. But I also took drum lessons. I was in band in middle school, so I feel like ever since then, ever since I was younger, I just really fell in love with music. And then it was like the hardest times in my life, like music really got me through for real.
Oh yeah, most definitely, man. I remember my first heartbreak. 8th grade. I used to listen to We Belong Together like a motherfucker. Like he left me, but we belong together. What the fuck? That was on repeat all day. My OG got tired of that shit. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You don't know about no love. I love that girl, man. She broke my heart.
Yeah,
What up, Khan? What up, Theo?
yeah,
But yeah, man, I'm a music head. Like I love listening to music. Like, it gets me through my day every day.
yeah. I would have to say the same thing because like I can't think of a day that I don't listen to music. Like I listen to music every day, and I feel like people don't realize like the influence that music has on people.
Yeah, and then there's that, it could influence you in a good way, and some of it is negative. A lot of it is
Yeah.
negative. But it's like
Mhm.
it's to your own discretion. Like for me, I know a lot of street niggas, and I know a lot of street niggas who rap like they really about that shit. But I also know niggas who claim to be in the streets, but not really in the streets, but rap about
Mhm.
it. And like I could tell motherfuckers who fake, not really with the shit, and people who are with the shit. So it's like I don't know. I could differentiate. Don't kill me if I said that wrong, y'all. But I could differentiate between like who's real and who's not real. So like
Mhm.
I never let like the negative music influence me to want to do like Future. Future, Andre 3000 said it the best. Future is the best at making bad music. Meaning, all that man rap about is drugs, pills, sex, money, and he's the best at it. But like that
Mhm.
ain't finna make me go pour up no codeine and drink the shit.
Right. Yeah,
You know,
that's
I need
true.
a lot of these young niggas to realize like just because they rapping about it don't mean it's cool. Like if they do it, fine, but there's a lot of effects to doing that shit that they talking about.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And there's even like, videos you can look up online where people have came out and said like the agenda behind hip hop and stuff like that. But I do think too, yeah, people just need to watch what they listen to because it could influence them in a negative way to do stuff. Um but I feel like also too it's about self control and things like that too.
Facts. Because it is appealing to the eyes. You're a young black male, you ain't really got a job, nothing like that. You growing up, you see all these money, cars, girls, and shit that you want that you see that they got, and you like, oh, I could be a rapper and rap about it and do that. Oh, I want that. Like, yeah, that's what I want to do. It's like it ain't like that, but I get it. But I ain't never wanted to be a rapper and no shit like that. It was cool to look at, but then when you, in hindsight, when you really think about it, think about it, it's like, oh, these are paid actresses and shit. These are paid dancers. Like these ain't, they ain't really got these women. So it's just videos. They ain't really doing this shit.
Yeah, that's true too. And a lot of people do look at the lifestyle like, oh, I want that. But I also feel like there's a lot of mainstream artists that are making positive music that are not being pushed the way they should, or just music that's not as bad as what we listen to today. Cause like I do like older music too, but like I like Life Jennings, I like Jaheim and like stuff like that.
Right. And that's what I hate is that none of that old school feeling. Like there's some artists out there like Division and for some reason I can't think of these people's names. Chris Brown's still doing it. But it's like we ain't got that old school. Like everybody want to listen to shit that's only like 2 minutes long. Like, yes, it's a hit, it's a banger, but like, it don't you don't feel nothing after. You a little turned up to it, but like, ain't nobody really making that old school love making or happiness music. Like we'll never, never see another Al Green, what I'm saying, another Temptation, shit like that. Like these
Yeah,
kids of today need to listen to shit like that. Like that was real music right back then. That really was a really good field music. Anytime you go to a barbecue, what do you always hear? Frankie Beverly and Maze. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
I like
Before I
Frankie.
let you go, like that's like you can always go to any time in the summertime barbecue, be like, I remember when they played that song. That's when so and so happened, and so did this and that, and the third. But now it's just uh, got a good mustache. Thank you. But
Yeah,
now you see motherfuckers just all put this put this pussy in your sideburns, and my dick at like I could do without that shit. I don't care for that.
yeah, definitely. And I mean, it's cool or whatever, but it's not like substance to it. Like, I will be so quick to listen to like Jagged Edge or like Jaheim, like Jennings. Some. I'd rather listen to something like that than all this other music that's out. And like you said, Frankie Beverly, like Earth, Wind and Fire and stuff like that. I like
Facts.
that like that. I will listen to Earth, Wind and Fire and stuff like the Isley brothers and
Oh
stuff.
yeah. See, you got
Jamie
an old
Foxx.
soul.
I'll listen to Jamie Foxx
Yeah,
like
when I
that.
posted that, you was like, "Oh, yeah, that's a classic album." Like, yeah, that's my
For
shit.
real, cause like my mama played that in the car. Like I know that whole album since I was
Right.
a young kid and stuff. Or like TLC. I love TLC and stuff. So, oh Monica, I feel like the one album I don't know what the album is called, but the song on there Still Standing featuring Ludacris, like that is one of my favorite songs, and I feel like that song did not get enough push.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of great songs. Real quick, uh, Anshul, I'm a radio host for a radio station called OG Radio. I usually host Monday, Tuesdays, and every other Thursday. We took a little hiatus. It's cool. And I'm from the U.S. I'm out of Chicago, so that's what I do. And yeah, I feel like when we was younger, we'll listen to like the main songs, right? And as I
Mhm.
got older, I went back and listened to the albums. And I'm like, yo,
Yes.
there was some shit on here. Like,
Yeah, for real though.
right? Like next, we all know that song, Too Close, right?
Yeah.
I'm a little kid singing it, all little kids singing this shit. And we don't know what it means till we get older. We like, oh, that's what they talking about. But like they got some gems on their album.
Mhm.
Jamie Foxx had gems on his album. Jill Scott got gems. So it was like a lot of artists that we just listen to because it's on the radio. That was the only song we want to listen to half the time when we was kids. When we got older and you start appreciating music more, it's like, yo, this album is crazy. Like, everybody was a fan of Michael Jackson. But when you really go back
Right.
and listen to his fucking albums, like, yo, classic.
No, he has a wife. What are you talking about?
No, man, this this my homie, man.
Ex dog.
I'm married. I'm married.
um. Oh yeah, okay. The album was called Still Standing, but there's a song on there called Still Standing, and that one I don't feel like that song was like really pushed enough. I feel like Jaheim, I don't know, maybe it was just the time of his era, but I feel like he wasn't really pushing up. I feel like Jaheim could have been bigger than what he was. I feel like even Life Jennings could have been bigger.
Man, they make you turn from 5 to 8. Bro, y'all tweet y'all funny in these comments. Um Jaheim, that man, he fucking went from here to here because all the extra shit he was doing outside of music. So he got caught up in some shit and
Oh, okay.
we seen what happened when he put that woman first. So
You funny.
shit. We seen what happened when he didn't do that. Life Jennings, yeah, him too. I feel like some of these artists back then made wrong, poor decisions, and they just didn't,
Yeah.
like to me, Ray J can't sing, but like his
Mm,
career blossomed. He just
yeah.
made good decisions with shit. But like I feel like if you don't have the look and the 100% voice, I feel like people ain't gonna really want to really push you like that. But
Mm-hmm.
mm, don't kill me for this. But I tell people this shit all the time. I love Mary J. Blige. I love her to death. I love her song.
Okay.
She can't fucking sing. She just has the correct team to make her voice sound good to me.
Mm-hmm.
But she
Okay.
can't. I've never. There's no song where she was just like really singing. She
Right.
harmonized and was good on most melodies and shit. But I feel like she can't sing. Now you put her next to Alicia Keys. Alicia Keys to me would blow her out the water.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I
Definitely.
don't. I love Mary J. I love her songs. But like she can't sing. She can sing, but she can't sing. And I get ridiculed for that shit all the time. I'm like, I guess.
I mean, that's because like one of my aunts, she's like in her 50s, and she says all the time Beyonce can't sing to her. So she says that all the time. I mean, I've never been a big Beyonce fan. If I do listen to Beyonce, it'd probably be like the old, like Destiny's Child
There will be
Beyonce,
no
a
Beyonce
little bit
slander.
after that and
No
stuff. But
Beyonce slander on this call while I'm on it right now. But no, I get it. I hear that a lot. A lot of people say they feel like Beyonce can't sing, and the other two probably could sing better. But I don't know, man, because there's some songs Beyonce was cutting the fuck up. It's like she got a voice. It ain't no Alicia Keys voice, but she got a voice. It's better than Mary J.
and then I feel like a lot of these artists, they just got like iconic albums that you just, you know what I'm saying? Like Destiny Child, they got some iconic albums. Obviously, Jamie Foxx, Unpredictable, that album was just, it was iconic. It was nostalgic, and you could still bump it to this day.
Facts. But people gotta go back to the 1990s Jamie Foxx with his very first album. Um,
Oh, I gotta listen to that album. I don't think
um,
I ever listened to it.
I forgot the name of the album. Maybe it was Infatuation, but I know there's a song called Infatuation. That's where Sexy Red got that song from, her and Drake, and she
Hmm.
sampled it from Jamie Foxx's Infatuation. But
Okay.
like that shit is a classic. That album goes hard. H
Okay.
H Town, they got classic out. Like everything they made to me was a banger. Like you can't
Right.
go wrong with anything with H Town.
Yeah. How do you feel about Jagged Edge in their
I
music?
like them. They got some cuts. I feel like I feel like they was good for some singles. I ain't really too much care for some of the albums
Mm-hmm.
in its entirety because like some of the albums just like, kind of could do without it. But like I like them. I fucks with them.
Mm. Okay. Yeah. I don't know why I grew up listening to Jagged Edge, so I just love Jagged Edge and stuff like that. But
They got some gems though.
Jodeci, I like Jodeci too.
Oh yeah, I got a Jodeci TikTok out there.
Oh, you do for real?
Yeah, man. I was on TikTok a little heavy a few years ago, and I got a goofy personality you see on Facebook all the time. So I was
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna start making a little bit of funny videos. So I did the whole damn, what's the song? I forgot the name of the song. But you know how usually KC would have a jacket on or something and nothing else under it and shit and be doing all
Yeah.
that's what the fuck I did. So like should be funny. I got another one singing Silk, meeting in my
Okay.
bedroom, like the breakdown part, because like
Hmm.
every song has to have a great breakdown. Like that's what makes a song is when it goes to that breakdown. It's like, whew, yeah, this hard.
Now, what about Donnell Jones? I like Donnell Jones. I like a lot of his music.
He was cool for the time that he was out.
Hmm.
I honestly don't know too much about his songs besides like what we all know, but he was another good one where his career didn't go where you thought it could go. Like John
Hmm.
B. John B could fucking sing, but his career didn't go where we thought it could.
Right. What about I think about the Brian McKnight and the Kitty Lattimore.
both of them turned into songwriters. So like Brian McKnight did his thing with music, and then he started writing for people. Kenny Lattimore, same thing. He did what he had to do, and then just went straight to writing. So that's another good thing when it comes about music and artists like that. They become songwriters. Like Neo wrote shit ton of music. Chris Brown, although he got plethora of music, he also wrote a shit ton of music for artists. It's like, damn, didn't
Right.
really know that. Like
Yeah.
the great all time great, the GOAT, I don't care what the fuck he did in life. You can't take his music away. You already know what I'm about to say. It's fucking R. Kelly. Cannot take that man. I don't care what he did. All right. Can't take that man's music away. That man has classic after classic. I feel like if there was no R. Kelly, there'd be nobody.
Okay.
It's just like it's sort of like the Michael Jackson effect. If there was no Michael Jackson, there'd legit be nobody. Nobody, doing music. So without R. Kelly, we wouldn't have the SWVs and you know, the fucking Tony Braxton and all that. We wouldn't have none of that without R. Kelly.
Mm.
Despite the weird shit he was doing, he was a genius. A
Mm.
genius.
Yeah, I like Tony Braxton, and I feel like when it comes to the whole Tony Braxton and the Tamar, like, there was just this conversation of Tamar feeling like she wasn't being acknowledged and stuff like that. And it's just like, I feel like put some respect on Tony, because nobody probably wouldn't have known who, the sisters was as a whole, or even who Tamar was, if it wasn't for Tony,
That's
and
true.
stuff like that. I feel like they both can sing, and stuff like that. I like Tamar. I mean, obviously, I feel like I listen to Tamar more than Tony, because that's kind of like, I feel like, towards like my age, really, and
Right.
stuff like that.
See,
But
Tony
I
was
think they,
my era.
I think they both can sing and stuff like that.
Tony Braxton had that unique voice where it's like it's weird, but I like it. And I can keep listening to it.
Mm, okay.
Definitely a fan of Tony Braxton. I ain't a fan that she dating Birdman and shit, but whatever. Fucking weird. Like you never saw that coming. Like, all right, Birdman. But forgetting, without Birdman, a lot of shit wouldn't happen either. It's sort of like Master P. Without Master P, there'd be no, Birdman and all that other shit. Even though they kind of like the same age, they old as hell. But
Mm,
you know, people got to
yeah,
give credit where credit's due. I don't
yeah,
like Birdman like that, but that man was a genius.
yeah.
Can't rap
I
for shit.
remember Anita Baker. I used to listen to Anita Baker when I was younger and stuff like that. I loved Anita Baker.
Oh yeah, that Angel album, that shit is hard. She got a bunch of classics on there. Anita, that's that's my celebrity, one of my celebrity crushes.
Oh, 702. I feel like they could have been bigger than what they were also, because I like 702.
Destiny Child ruined them. That Destiny Child was up here. 702 was like here, and they couldn't compete with that. Like all the little girl groups back then, they couldn't compete with Destiny Child. So they kind of, like 3LW and all them, like they weren't gonna make it. They got
I
some cuts
wonder
though.
I wonder why there's not any really groups like that today. I do wonder that.
Money, I think money definitely changes people. That's why before Takeoff died, like I appreciated the Migos for being out for so long.
Yeah.
Although they're family, like that's another another story. But like for them to never let money get in between shit, like of course you gonna have arguments, whatever, and disagreements, but they been together for so long and made hits after hits after hit, didn't break up until Takeoff died. And it's
Right.
like nowadays it's hard to like I don't even think there's any boy bands out there or girl bands. If they are, shit, I don't know nothing about it. Everybody's
Right. That's what I'm
solo
saying.
tip, you know.
Yeah.
Everybody think they can make it solo, like Pretty Ricky. They
Mhm.
threw out the first two classic, all time classic albums, and then Pleasure P was like, I'm going solo. And the man put out one album. It was great, but couldn't match that first album. And then years later, Pretty Ricky, let's get back together. But they ain't really doing too much as a group now either. Like they doing
Right.
shows, they putting out singles, but I haven't seen an album from them yet.
Mhm.
But like,
Right.
you know, Pretty Ricky was a great group, but it's hard to keep a group together because money. One
Yeah.
person may feel like I should get paid more because I have the lead voice and da 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 da.
Mm. Yeah.
So like that shit, I could imagine. Me personally, I don't think I could be in a group either. Like
Mm.
too many egos. I don't have an ego, but like I could just imagine other people who blindsided by money. And it's
Yeah.
like people need to realize as much money you can make is as quickly as it can all go away.
Yeah.
So, stick together and make the most that you can. But also these industries also push for that solo shit.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, if you cut a deal here without them, you can make this much money and blah 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 blah. It's like, I guess,
Yeah. I
you
just
know.
feel bad like for the kids now because like they didn't really get to experience like, groups for real like in their, what I'm saying, generation cuz I feel like even for me like I feel like we had like it wasn't that many groups but we had like mindless behavior. We had the
Mm,
OMG girls and stuff. What?
mm. You just showed your age. Talking about the violence behavior and OMG girl.
I mean, we did. I mean, they was out. You know what I'm saying? When I was a kid, that's what they was out. And but then I feel like also too, Disney put out a lot of great artists too. Zendaya, I feel like she was great. Trevor Jackson and stuff like that. And a lot of them Disney soundtracks was fire to me.
Yeah, but they also better than just movies and TV shows.
Yeah,
Disney be ruining some careers now. Look at Orlando Brown and Raven.
yeah.
Eh,
Yeah, I mean, I guess if it's part of that, like you being in the industry at that young of an age, like that's a risk that you might not survive. Is I mean, Kiki Palmer, I feel like she lucky to still have the career that she has and stuff like that. I love
oh yeah.
Kiki Palmer.
Shout out to Kiki. Funny thing is, she's from the same hood that I'm in. Her house was behind mine, but I never remember seeing her ever, ever,
Really?
ever, ever. Never remember
Okay.
seeing her.
Hmm.
But we some years apart, so that probably could be why. Like I'm older than her, but
Mhm.
I'm like, dang, she's from Robbins. I don't even remember. Like what? All right.
Mm. Yeah, and just the way I feel like I always liked Kiki Palmer since I was a kid. I did, and just like the way like her interviews and stuff, the way that she talks, like I love her, and I feel like she was one of the ones that came out okay. I mean, she probably did go through stuff too, but
Oh yeah, she was real authentic. She stayed true to herself. Weird way, and I hate saying this, and I hate using her as an example because I cannot stand this woman like that. But Sexy Red,
mhm,
music is all god awful, but she stays true to who she is. She ain't let this fame or music get to her where she got to change her appearance and like, of course, sexy sells, whatever. But she's still just her. She ain't go get a boob job and all that shit like Glorilla and Cardi B and Meg and all that. She ain't go do all this other crazy shit that the industry make women go do.
mhm.
Uh,
I'm
wow,
just saying,
Ballad Daddy is trying to
I'm
marry
ignoring
you.
them comments. Honestly, I
That's
really
funny.
yeah,
That's
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I like,
funny.
and also like Queen Latifah, man. Like, I listened to some of her old music and stuff like that. She was hard to me.
Cold on the mic. Cold.
Like, in the acting, she was cold too. But like, I always liked Queen Latifah and like put some respect on Queen Latifah's name because I feel like she deserves her flowers.
Facts. First of all, V Laddie, I would just ride your ass right now, but I ain't finna bring the Chicago out right now. So I'm gonna let you slide, sir. Anyway, the purpose to me of rapping and acting or rapping and singing and stuff is, you get known, you get famous, and let that lead you to other revenues, like TV
Mm-hmm.
shows, movies, books, stuff like that. So like you don't really see a rapper that's rapping forever. You kind of you see it in Snoop Dogg, like he's still putting out music, like it's great, but like
Mm-hmm.
we also know him for a whole bunch of other shit besides just rapping. Like this man
Right.
went to the fucking Olympics. What black male who's a rapper slash got caught up in some a murder charge when they was younger and shit has the privilege to say, "Yo, I went to the Olympics and I lit that motherfucker, the flame up and shit." Like that's a great thing. That's a great accomplishment in life. Like no matter what he do in life, he could be like, "I went to the Olympics and I did the fire ceremony." Like, damn, that's an accomplishment right there.
Yeah, definitely for sure.
Like
And I
I
mean,
appreciate. Oh, go ahead.
I was to say, and I mean, I feel like we should celebrate the ones that actually have did stuff. Like I heard that Ti was like doing like building an apartment, like affordable housing complex and stuff like that. For the community and stuff like that. So I feel like the ones that are doing stuff like you said, even outside of music and actually trying to help do something, they should put some
Facts.
respect on their name.
Facts. Shout out to Jay Z, man. The man is a 2.5 billionaire, and
Oh.
like people try to tear him down with all this allegation shit, but like you really dig into it, he wasn't even at the same party Diddy was at. But anyway, the man went from selling cocaine, getting caught with all the other shit, to rapping, to making clothing lines, a club, bottles of liquor, to fucking part owner in the NFL and all this other shit. He owned the Brooklyn Nets for a while. And the man's a
Mm,
billionaire. Like, we should be like, man, how did he do it? But instead, I feel like black people do what black people do. They tear people down. They don't like seeing people successful.
mhm,
That shit sucks. Like, Diddy did, he did it. He did it. But, that motherfucker got successful in a weird way. But he was successful, became a billionaire damn near. And, people just like to tear successful people down. I always find that shit crazy. Like, people always try to point out the bad in somebody of what they doing instead of just being like, "Oh, I fucks with it." Like I'm not a big fan of Meg Thee Stallion, but she made it. She's from where she's from. She rapped enough to where people started fucking with her. She made her money. Cardi B, another one. She went from a stripper to a rapper. Can't really rap for shit, but she made it. So instead of people just congratulating, they pick apart what they did wrong and all this other shit. That's the sad part about being a celebrity and famous is like people will always talk shit, but you gotta have that mindset to like not give a fuck about what the hell they talking about because it's like what he don't make me shit. So like, why do I care that you made a meme about me or this, that, and the third? I find it all funny. So if I was to ever blow up and be famous, I don't give a fuck about what these people say.
mm, yeah, and I feel like also too the way like I understand when people be like the way the music has changed over the years because I feel like for me like I was when I was younger, me and my sisters, we always used to be so excited to watch the BET Awards, like from like
Hmm.
2010, maybe a little bit before 2010, like 2010, 11, 12, and stuff like that. And it's like now, I don't think I would even watch the BET Awards because like I see how it was back then and how it is now. It's like you're not nothing compared. Like I mean,
Oh
people
nah.
used to love the BET
Yep.
Awards.
It's trash now. Like it's so horrible. I ain't watched the BET award show since maybe 2015, 2016.
That
Cause
probably was the last good, run that they
for
had and
real.
stuff
Cause
like
now
that.
it's
And they
just
were actually celebrating. It was actually still like, I feel like, decent good music then.
oh yeah, 100%. And I'm not saying that the music now is, bad because like music changes every damn near 10 years.
Yeah.
But now it seems like it's changing every day. So the trend is constantly changing every day. But like,
Mhm.
I mean, I appreciate me. Like my son, he's older, he's 17 now, so he'll send me some young nigga music. And I'm just like, this what y'all listen to? Like I get it, but like there's no substance no more.
Yeah.
There's no purpose when people that's why I like being the host I am and dealing with underground artists because they're still hungry and they're
Mhm.
passionate about their music.
Yeah.
Once some of these people who are in the same position and they got to the status that they're at now they kind of just don't give a fuck. They just do
Mhm.
whatever. They just like, oh, I got money now. Like, blah 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 blah. I go on Bad Girls Club and Baddies and all all this goof ass shit. But like music is just weird sometimes. You can everything was meaningful in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s to like maybe 2016, 2015, 2016, and everything
Yeah,
kind of just,
I would agree,
went
definitely.
down.
For real,
Um,
because even when you go back to, Juvenile and the what was is it back that thing up? Is that
yep,
like that was a big record, you know what I'm saying? And then you gotta think about the time then and everything. So like music like that, you still hear that to this day. You know what I'm
right,
saying? So, I feel like it's about the person that's, also passionate about music too, because if you really don't care, you're not going to put that effort into it, and there's like people that have like timeless records that still get played to this day, and we in 2024.
facts. Because it was a time back when that ass came. When I was 9, 10 years old. That's when you start getting to girls and shit like that. When that music, boy, that was a time to be had. When Crime Mob came out, that was a time to be alive. Like I feel sorry for y'all. Y'all can't experience that. Feel
Yeah,
sorry for y'all.
I be
But
thinking, I be
like
like, dang, I wish I was in that era.
it was a time. Like '03 when Nelly came out with Nellyville and that whole Kelly and Nelly song,
Hmm. I
Dilemma
think
came out.
Dilemma,
Like
yeah.
that was that shit. Back in that
Hmm.
time, I was probably sixth, seventh, eighth grade, maybe, whatever. And we used to go to school dances, and that song would come on. And you fuck around, get a girl's number, and you call them on a house phone. Yes, a house phone, and just chat it up for how long your mama let you be on the phone. So it's just like I can always go back to a certain time frame in my life, listening to
Hmm.
music to be like, man, I remember that. Like,
Definitely. Real. Like I know like one of my other favorite songs by Juvie is Slow Motion. Like that song is so fire to me. For
oh
real.
yeah, all that New Orleans, man. It was a time. It was a time. It was a time. It was a great
Even
time.
Little Wayne's like, earlier music and stuff like that. Like Lollipop and like, you know what I'm
Not
saying? Like
lollipop. Of all things, you say a lollipop.
I'm just saying, like, that was during the 2000s and stuff like that.
That was '09, I think. But yeah, for me being older, watching watching the transition of, you know, Eminem and Lil Wayne and shit like that, to watch them go through the way they are now has been amazing. Like for some reason, people shit on Eminem now, but they was the same people back in the day bumping the Eminem show. Like you couldn't go nowhere not hearing Eminem. Like Eminem was that nigga. We gave him that black card. You know.
Okay.
Um, yep. See, J Hop. Yep. Eminem in 2001 to Dr. Dre. Like those are some classic albums that you just can't dismiss. Like
Hmm.
Eminem was that motherfucker back in the day.
Wow. Okay.
Like I wouldn't say fuck you, mama, but shit like that. But he made music saying that shit. Like I ain't saying he made it cool to say it, but he was like how we felt. He
Hmm.
said it. And it's like,
Right.
damn, sometimes, we go through shit with our OG or our parents and shit, and we can't say certain things, but he said it. And it's like, this how I feel. I ain't gonna say
Yeah.
it, but this how I fucking feel. But like
Yeah.
Eminem, couldn't nobody touch Eminem. Hell, can't nobody touch Eminem now. And Dr. Dre, brilliant. Um, how he came up, kind of funny, but when he got with Easy and all them and shit, um, first of all, their first group was fucking weird. Being in a doctor suit and glitter and all that weird shit. But when he became NWA and shit like that, like that was great. And then to watch them break up, then you had the real rap beef with Snoop and Dre against East. Like that shit was cool as hell to watch. Like that shit was they made classics to this day. Like, you know, unfortunately Easy passed, but like if he was alive, I'm pretty sure they'd reconcile. But to
Hmm.
watch old school beef really be old school beef, where I ain't finna whoop your ass in perfect, but I'm finna put it on wax. I'm finna put it in music. and we just go back and forth. Like
Mhm.
that's beef to me. But this shit nowadays where motherfuckers really want to run down and kill you and shit.
Mhm.
You know, I don't take beef of today as serious because it ain't that serious to die over. You know,
Mhm.
just say what
Right.
you gotta say on record.
Yeah. Um. What about Play a Circle? Because Duffel Bag Boy, that's like one of my favorite
Classic,
songs. Like I just love
classic.
that song. It's so nostalgic, but and I didn't even realize that Two Chains. I think Two Chains was
Titty
in that
boy,
group. He was
yeah,
in that group. I'm like,
yeah.
wow, that's fire.
Yep, Titty Boy 2 Chains. That was a time I was in high school when that came out. So
For
like,
real.
you know, you couldn't fucking you definitely if whoever had a car, you had to play that shit. You had to play
For
Duffel
real.
Bag Boys. The motherfuckers just started getting money from their jobs and shit. Like, hey, I'm getting money, little Duffel Bag Boy. Like, that was a time. Like for me, high school was the mixtape era.
Okay.
When Wayne took off with the mixtapes, followed by Gucci, and even Soldier Boy. Like people don't even give Soldier Boy credit, but Soldier Boy when he first came out, he was really spitting.
Mhm.
The shit he got going on now, whatever. But like Jeezy,
Mhm.
um, J. Cole in the later years, but like the mixtape game was crazy throughout my high school years of '04 to '09, '05 to '09. And it was just like, damn, like this shit cold. Every week, Wayne would drop something, and I'll
Mhm.
just listen to the cafeteria, listen to it and shit. So it's like, again, it goes back to a time and place that you had that the music made you feel something. It brought me back to high school.
Yeah, definitely. Like the whole Duffel Bag Boy song. Like I grew up listening to that song, "Party Like a Rock Star," like that. I don't know, for some reason, like I really like that song. It's
Yeah, that was my college years. That's when we kind of transitioned as an era from that hood shit to a little bit of that rock star
Mhm.
era. Like even with Lil Wayne did the whole rock star shit, and it kind
Mhm.
of worked. Like he had a few rock shit that I fuck with. Um, like Prom Queen, that shit was cold to me. On Fire, that shit was cold. But it was just like some of that party song, like you said, the GS Boys and I can't think of the name, but all that shit, Roscoe
Oh, you talking
Dash
about
and
the
all
Shop
them.
Boys?
Yeah, the Shop Boys, Roscoe Dash, Travis Porter. Travis
Mhm.
Porter to me back then is what the Migos is now. They was just ahead of their time, in my opinion.
Okay.
But Travis Porter, if you ain't heard nothing from them, go listen to them. Like all they mixtapes went crazy during that party rock star phase, that era.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
that was something that get you if you taking a road trip somewhere, Travis Porter would get you there. They
Okay.
would have you
Okay.
turned up. When they did that mixtape Waka Flocka called Streets Are Us, beginning to end, classic, classic music.
Nah, I love me some Waka. It's a couple of songs. I mean, obviously, No Hands, that what was the one song? It was something Grove Street. Grove Street.
Grove Street Body.
What the other one, it was like, I put my money up. Nah, I can't re up. I forgot
Yep.
what it's called, but that one,
Um,
that's like I like that one too.
I can't remember the name of the song, but yeah, that was great. Again, that was high school age for us because like how most of us got turned on to Gucci was watching Hood Affairs, and it was a little DVD. For all y'all don't know, it was a circular, you know, disc, CD disc that you could either do music or movies on. It was a DVD. It was called Hood Affairs, and Gucci was basically doing like freestyles and instrumentals and shit.
Mhm.
And that's how I got put on the whole Gucci and 1017 Brick Squad. So to watch Waka Flocka be his number one right hand man to rapping was like, oh, he could rap somewhat and turn up and like have us like in tune with it. It was great. OJ the Juice Man, Frenchie, like they whole squad at that time was great. Like you wouldn't catch me listening to Frenchie now, but like at that time in music, early 2000s, like yeah,
Mm.
that shit was like you either wanted to be three groups. You wanted to be with Joel Santana and Cameron and Jim Jones. You want to be Dipset, Young Money or 1017 Brick Squad. Like
Mhm.
everybody had their own handshake or throwing up one of their signs. Like that's how powerful those groups were back in the day. Like everybody wanted to be Young Money, Dipset, or fucking Brick Squad. It was just amazing. Like me, a little bit gang affiliated back in the day, and like we had was so Dipset crazy. We had our own Dipset handshake along with other shit. So it was just like thinking about it now, I was like, damn, it was powerful. Little do they know, like it was a fucking movement.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely was, you know what I'm saying, a movement. And it's like that time. It's just, man, like I'm just glad that those artists made that music, even for me to go back and listen to now, because like I love the 2000s rap, like even like the early TI and stuff like that. Like I,
Classics, classics.
he had some hits.
Like it was when Lil Wayne said that he's the best rapper alive. He's that. To me, I got Jay Z as the GOAT. Then I got Eminem. Then I got Lil Wayne. Like those are my top three. So you had the greatest of all time. You had the best rapper alive. Then you had Eminem, and you had the King of the South, Ti. Like when motherfuckers gave themselves the title, or even whoever gave the title, it meant something. Like they took it and they ran with it.
Hmm.
When Boosie said that he's king of Louisiana, like it meant something. Like Boosie, he even still putting out good music, and it's like you go to a club, what you go here, wipe me down. That's a national anthem
Hmm.
for
Yeah,
black people when it comes to music. You know,
yeah.
um, even I put Chief Keef's Finito. I put that up there with the Wipe Me Down because like
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That
on
actually,
some hood, yeah, on some hood shit, like Chief Keef made an anthem for all the black, hood parties and shit, clubs and stuff. You gotta play Finito. You gotta
yeah.
turn up.
Definitely. And I would even say like I started DJing and stuff, and I did this party for this girl and her boyfriend, and they were turning 21, and when I had put on that Wipe Me Down, like, you know what I'm saying, that was the song like that got everybody lit and stuff like that. So
Facts.
definitely is a it's an iconic song and
Yep.
stuff like that. So I feel like, even though hip hop does have, some negative music, there's also positive too. You just have to find it, because even some of T.I.'s music, he has some positive songs that I've listened to. Even Chris Brown, he has motivational music. You just gotta, you know what I'm saying,
You
go
gotta
back.
find it. You gotta
Yeah,
go back
you just
and listen
find
to
it.
it. Yeah.
For real, because I've listened to some of T.I.'s motivational music that I'm like, oh my gosh, like I didn't even know he had this.
Oh yeah. Chris Brown's another one. In high
Mm-hmm.
school, we are the same age, and just to listen to that first album, which is a classic album that you can't top, even though everything else is classic as well. But that first album, it went hard. Like you even had the most gangster motherfucker singing Chris Brown in high school to whatever girl they was dealing with. And then, brought out that Take You Down. I used to dance on all the girls, I ain't gonna lie. Like that shit. Now, I put Chris Brown in the upper echelon of Michael Jackson status. Chris Brown to me has reached that status. For
Okay.
the longevity, and his catalog is long. Like he got a lot of music, and he crossed over in so many different realms that it fits for whatever. He got stuff for the hood people. He got the
Mhm.
slow songs for the girls. He got the songs for the non-black people. So
Right.
it's like he did his shit, and his stardom is still up there. And he been doing music since he was 17, 16, 17. And to be 34 and still putting out shit, that's crazy.
That is. And I feel like people should give Chris Brown his flowers too.
Definitely deserve his flowers. Even though all the shit that he been through, and he's a great father. And he's
Hmm.
doing his shit. So like
Yeah.
he definitely deserves his flowers because like I remember everybody was talking about how he should do a versus Usher. I'm not gonna lie. And Chris Brown said it. He's like, man, my features alone would kill Usher. And he's right.
Mhm.
Usher has some classics too. He got some shit, but it can't compete. It cannot compete with Chris Brown. Anything Chris Brown could do, he could definitely match that and then some of Usher. So like Usher was here, Chris Brown come out, and then he just took off on him. So like, for me it's Michael Jackson, Chris Brown, Usher. And then under Usher, I will put Bobby Brown because wasn't nobody fucking with Bobby Brown in the 80s.
Mhm.
A lot of people don't know. They just listen to Bobby Brown from New Edition days. Nah, people gotta go back and listen to his albums. Bobby Brown had a first classic album, a second classic album, and then the other ones was okay. But like the first two albums that he had, classic. Like when you really think about it, that man was really the bad boy in the 80s. Like wasn't nobody fucking with Bobby Brown back in the 80s.
Yeah, I would say I do like J. Cole. I like a lot of his music and stuff like that. I feel like Kendrick is cool, but I feel like I would listen to J. Cole over Kendrick.
Yeah, and I think it's because a lot of people don't care too much for the conscious music
Mhm.
today. Like we kind of moved from that. So if you want to talk about current, the top three to me would be like Wayne is in his own category along with Eminem. Like they up there with Biggie and Tupac. So like they in their own shit along with Jay-Z. After them, you could throw out the top three best would be Drake, Cole, Kendrick,
Mhm.
and everybody else fall under that. And it's like those are the three-headed monsters of today with all the music they got going on. Like it's definitely conscious music, but it's also like poetic. It's some of it's positive, some of it is, rah rah music from Kendrick. But like I just feel like today the young niggas, the younger generation just can't get with it because they
Mhm.
don't. I feel like they don't understand where they're coming from because they
Yeah,
haven't lived
that's
through
true.
life that long enough to understand and grasp the concept of some of their music.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. Um For me, I would say Nipsey Hussle. Like some of his music, I feel like was conscious, and
Oh
it's
yeah,
crazy because like after he passed, like that's when I really started listening to his music. Like I had heard of him before, but I didn't really never pay attention to him like that. But I used to listen to like his. I started listening to his music, his motivational speeches. I even read a book about Nipsey Hussle, so it's like I feel like he's dope too.
oh yeah. He was very, very intelligent to be for where he was from. And
Mhm.
I been gave him his flowers. Like when he was alive, like man, Nipsey's that motherfucker. Like he's intelligent. The way he moves about life and all that other stuff. It's unfortunate that gang related shit catches up, but even then, even when you gang related, people aren't as what people think. Like people thought that he was just thug and all this other stuff. It's like it's not really that, man. It's more deeper than what people think it is. And Nipsey was that man. He was that nigga.
Mhm.
He could
Yeah.
out rap the best of them.
I mean, and he was also for the community too. That's what a lot of people don't know because I read that book that I read. It was talking about how he was doing stuff, and he was helping the kids in his community, and he was like, I mean, he had his own clothing store, and
Yep.
it was something I think he was doing for kids or he was trying to do.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He was definitely that man. Sad to see him go so soon. It's always the good ones that go so soon. Like even though like King Von was a fucking menace. However, he was definitely for his community um out here in Chicago. And little do people know, like he wanted to buy up that block, the projects over there and like fix it up some and do something better for it. Cause like
Yeah.
how we grew up in Chicago, most of us, come from fucked up backgrounds and lived up to fucked up areas.
Mhm.
And depending on how move about life, him and his camp, Lil Durk and all of them, they made it. It was crazy for them to come up on the scene too back in 2012 of how they came up. Like they're only a few years, most of them is a few years younger than me, but like they rapped, They did what they had to do. Some of them got out. Some of them, unfortunately stayed with that life. But that's why I appreciate Chief Keef for rapping, do what he got to do, move the fuck out of Chicago. And people be like, well, why don't you go back? Why for? I don't need to go back. It
Hmm.
made me who I am, but why go back?
Yeah.
That's people like Young Dolph. Like, bro, you made it. Why would you stay where you got the opposition at? Like, no, man. The point of wanting to be a rapper or a ball player, actor, actress, whatever, anything that gives you that the notoriety of being famous and gives you a lot of money, get the fuck out. Move your family out and stay
Yeah.
gone. Like
Yeah.
if you come back, bring your security with you. But some of these people have that hood mentality where they feel like, oh, I'm certified and respected everywhere I go. And I don't work
Mhm.
like that. A bullet ain't got a name on it.
Yeah. That's true. That is true. I mean, a lot of these, I feel like a lot of the like those rap, like even the Detroit rappers, like they glorify that lifestyle, and it's just like I respect the rap, that kind of rap, because it's like you're telling your story, where you came from and stuff like that. But violence and stuff like that, I don't think that should be glorified.
Yeah, I get it. Me growing up in it, like I get it for the rappers who talk about it because they're speaking about all the shit that they seen. I just feel like now to be in 2024, almost 2025, ain't no point of talking about it because other people already talk about it. So there's
Hmm.
nothing more that you can talk about Detroit. There's nothing more you can talk about Chicago, Baltimore. Ain't nothing more you can say.
Right.
So I guess that brings us to how music is today, where motherfuckers really just make a 2-minute classic. You know what I'm saying? And it's catchy. Like the shit is cool, but people's attention span is like that. So they just got to go with 2 minutes of fame, and it's like I get it. Nowadays, you got a catchy beat, you create a
Hello.
yeah. My bad. Somebody was calling me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really too much care for that. I feel like we need more positive music being pushed and stuff, but unfortunately I know they're only gonna let so much of that get pushed out. But even like the old music that's positive, go back and listen to that, I would say.
Fact. Oh, it looked like my video stopped, but I don't know. I'm still here.
Yeah, your camera, I don't know what. Yeah, the camera did. But
There we go.
wait, I still can't see you. It's black.
Dang, that sucks.
It's okay though. But yeah, I mean, music, I feel like it's a beautiful thing. I feel like, people don't realize how it can have an influence or effect on you and stuff like that. And I just feel like people just do need to be considerate of what they listen to and stuff like that. And everything, because it could affect you in a negative way. It might not. And people just got to be mindful of that.
Right, Lucas. You. I guess you want attention. So yes, I see what you're saying, my boy. Um, Before I get out of here though, I head back to work. I want to
Okay.
give you your flowers. Keep doing what
Oh.
you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because like it's great that you found something that you love doing and you passionate about it. You always
Thanks.
send me stuff all the time. I'm like, yo, she got that drive and motivation. So never lose that drive and motivation because it me doing this for almost 5 years, not gonna lie, sometimes you be like, this is overwhelming. Like, what more can I talk about? But there's always something to talk about. There's always somebody to interview. There's always an interesting story somewhere. So I will always say, keep that passion, keep that motivation, and you go flourish in this shit. Like, I'm gonna see you on the other side getting an award and shit. I'm like,
Thank
remember,
you.
remember that show we did 2024? Like, yeah,
Yeah, thank you. I really do appreciate it. I mean, I want to have people on here, and I want to spread a positive message, because I feel like, yeah, there are a lot of podcasts out there, but a lot of people just talking about the same stuff. But I want to talk about different stuff and the stuff that I care about. So I appreciate that. But you can shout out your like social medias and where people can find you at too before you go.
Uh, you can find me on Facebook at Terrell Radio Rail Redmond, Instagram Radio Rail 1290, TikTok is Terrell Redmond 6, I believe. And shoot me a DM, whatever. I respond to everybody. Um, the one thing I can say about radio is that it definitely radio podcasting, it definitely leads you to a lot of greatness. Like I don't name drop. So I've done interviews with a lot of celebrities. I don't name drop because I feel like I don't need to, but like
Hmm.
it's fun. And then when you get invited to these award shows, you get invited to certain events, like it's cool that people know you and it's like, oh, this is cool. Like I know you. Like, well, what do you do? Well, can I get on your platform? You come on my platform. And like that network is amazing. And it's
Wow.
like I once I started networking with people, like all right, for real quick, last year or maybe 2 years ago, I decided I wanted to make music. So I
Hmm.
did. So now I'm a beat maker. So I make beats for people.
Okay.
And I also was like, you know what? I'm not a rapper, but I'm a rap. Like, around my homies and shit, I rap. I don't take it serious as I could. If I wanted to, I could probably take it serious and be something, but I'm like, eh. But because of that, I got the attention of G Herbo and Dave East.
Okay.
So I'm like, damn, I would love to do music with them. But, people want their money. So they asked for a significant amount that I didn't have at the time. But in
Hmm.
due time, if life come back around full circle, I could work with them if I wanted to later on down the road. But for now, you know, at least I know that people are paying attention, whether it's
Yeah.
music or
Definitely.
doing this. So like definitely keep going. Don't ever stop. I'm always here to help you. Like, I'll be knowing some people. So
Okay. Thank you. I really appreciate that too.
and you know what, Lucas? Shout out to you, bro, because um I'm happy that your life is changing and I'm happy that you listen to the both of us is inspiring because I love inspiring people the way that people have inspired me. So for you as well, Lucas, keep going, man. But yeah, man, I appreciate you for having me on here. Like it's been a while since I did an interview. I was so like, you know what? I think I want to jump on somebody's shit. I'm not gonna lie.
For real. I mean, I would love to have you back on for a part two and stuff like that.
Of course. I'm off on weekends, but I might have to just come back to the car on weekends because kids being too noisy in the background. So I don't want all that going on.
Okay. Okay. All
But
right.
yeah, I appreciate it. So definitely let me know when you want to do a part two. I'm definitely down for it.
Okay. Bet.
All right, have a good one.
All right. You too. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, you guys. That's the end of today's podcast slash episode. If you guys could share this episode with somebody, or just send it to somebody and stuff like that, that would be great. I'm trying to get to 1K subscribers, so if you guys can subscribe to my YouTube too, that would be great. And you can also find him on his social medias too.